maybe one day you can make it right. How long you gonna run for? Now that all the love's gone without me, how long you gonna run for? Now that all the love's gone without me, yeah. You can run for the rest of your life, but it won't leave you behind. Keep breaking hearts, cause baby, I know I'll be on your mind. How long you gonna run for?
Bikini overall champion is 463, Lauren Dannemiller.
Without me, yeah. Without me, yeah. Without me.
It's so good. 1 whole year of prep. That's good tears. It's happy tears. It shows you wanted it. You got second junior national. You got second junior nationals. You wouldn't have this moment. This is meant to be. Overall, South Florida.
I'm sorry.
All that.
It's like it's all like kidding, like it's just crazy, and then it's just like the 2 first seconds.
Playing all that.
It's really crazy right now. I don't even know what's going on.
You were just like,
Yeah, I felt so different.
and you like, congratulations, you're like,
Yeah.
you're like, that's late.
I know, I just felt so different. Like, I don't know, I can't even explain it. I was so hard, like, you know, me and Kyle always texting me every second, like, what should we do? What should we do? Should we eat now? Like, yeah.
In today's video, NPC Nationals 2017.
All by myself.
What's going on, everyone? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com, and I wanted to do a recap video because, well, to be fair, this was one of the most remarkable weekends of my coaching career. It was the 2017 NPC Nationals in Miami. And to really understand why it was so important to me, you got to go back a few years. You see, 2014 was the first year that I had ever gone to NPC Nationals with clients. I had a bikini client named Ashley and a men's physique client named George Rosado, who probably a lot of you guys are familiar with. And they both qualified for nationals and were interested in doing it, and I thought, great, so let's go down to NPC Nationals and see what it's all about. Well, they both were in some of the later call-outs. Might have been second to last. Either way, disappointing showing for two people who I thought were very good athletes. That same weekend, my friend Lauren Conlon, who was a veteran of national stage, both in figure and bikini, won her class and also won the overall.
Congratulations again. Welcome to the IFBB Pro League.
To become the 2014 bikini overall champion. Well, Lauren moved to Tampa not too long after that, and she and I became fast friends. And at that point, I had to look at how I did things, how I coached, the way I was going to go about my business in the future. And I realized a few things. there was quite a few gaps in my knowledge. And you can do a few things when that's the case. You can either gloss over it, blame the judging, say that it's fixed, blame politics, or you can get to work and make sure that you know how to get better at your job as a coach. And that's what I did. I looked at it realistically. I wasn't happy with how my clients were prepared. I wasn't happy with how I was prepared. I wasn't familiar with the stage. I wasn't familiar with what the national show expectations were. I wasn't familiar with bikini posing, with men's physique posing. So I got to work, and I hired Lauren Conlon because clearly she knew how to do those things. So you see, 2015, I met a girl named Lauren Dannemiller. She was local to Tampa, and she told me she wanted to compete, and she was going to go to college out in Colorado. Well, she did a couple shows out in Colorado. She came over to the house to pose, and I immediately knew she had something. You know, she had just a fantastic structure. She was very pretty, and she had a very good first season. She actually got nationally qualified. But she did something very few people do after she got qualified. She took 2 years off from the stage. So during all that time, 2015, 2016, I went to the NPC Nationals. Never had anybody turn pro. But 2017 was a little different because I'd been to quite a few national shows since that 2014 season. I'd learned quite a bit. Lauren Conlon and I had been really working hard to bring people in the way you need to come into national shows. I had a few clients turn pro since then. In 2017 Nationals was just remarkable because I've never had that many athletes at one show. I had 8 total athletes, 5 bikini, 1 figure, 1 men's physique, 1 classic physique. And it was a bit of an emotional roller coaster because you see, when you go to a national show, everything happens so quickly. So I saw some people get first call-outs, get moved to the middle. And that's very nerve-wracking for a few reasons, because it's exciting, but then you gotta wait, you know, for the figure and the classic physique. We had to wait quite a while, 12 hours. For bikini, we had to wait 24 hours. And you know, at the end of the day, we took home 3 pro cards at one show. 1 in figure, Rachel Sedgwick. 1 in bikini, Class H, Cassie Malone. And another in bikini, Class F. That's right, Lauren Dannemiller, who was my first client in 2015 after hiring Lauren Conlon. And guess what? She won the overall, as you probably know. So let's review the week a little bit and see how it went. We're going to start with Thursday. Lauren Conlon and I got up at 8 o'clock on Thursday. She came over the house. We did a podcast for Redefine Healthy Radio. We wanted to get a podcast done before the holidays. You got to do that. You got to put in the work. And that's something she and I have been doing all year. So after we got the podcast done, we got on the road about 9:30. Got down to Miami right around 2. Got to our Airbnb. Caught up with Chad Nutter, who's putting this video together for you right now. Thank you, Chad. And then we just got settled in. Thursday afternoon, we were able to get in a gym session at the LA Fitness in Brickell. And then we headed over to the hotel, caught up with the bikini competitors who are going on stage on Friday. Caught up with Cyrus Smith, who was going on stage on Friday as well. And yeah, just did some check-ins, made sure things were good. Was very excited to see everyone looking so amazing. And so Thursday night, we were able to check in with everybody and get a good night's sleep. Friday morning, got up, got an early gym session in, cooked breakfast at the Airbnb, made it over to afternoon prejudging, and Cyrus Smith got first call-outs of men's classic physique A. He got moved to the center, and then just as prejudging ended, he got moved right of center. So we assumed he was in the third position, which was actually right. Later in the day, we had the bikini. Now, bikini started late. I want to say it started around 4 or maybe even 5, but they moved it quickly. I think we were out of there by 8 or 9, with probably close to 300 girls. That's moving pretty quick. And we had a girl in A, that was Ashley Szabo, who took third at USA's. She was in first call-outs and ended up placing 6th. Ashley brings a ton of conditioning, fantastic muscle, and it's just a matter of time until she turns pro. She has the entire package. She looks fantastic on stage. Then in Class C, we had Jalen Cerna. Jalen was a pickup only recently, and I didn't work with her for the whole year, but she's stationed overseas in Germany. She had won 2 overalls this year, and I knew she could turn pro under the right circumstances. I don't feel we had quite enough time to get her where she needs to be as far as conditioning goes for this show, but she still looked amazing, and we're going to be in position for her to turn pro anytime. We just need to have a little more time to get her the conditioning she needs. She has everything: the beauty, the posing, the poise, the muscle, the structure. She has it all. Then we have Kayla DeVogel, who is in Class D, and it was Kayla's first ever national show. It was her 3rd ever time competing on an NPC stage. Kayla was in the 2nd call out and was moved to center and ended up taking 6th place at her first national show. And I felt like we could have come in maybe a little tighter, but I think her nerves got the best of her. She was very fidgety, very anxious, and that definitely comes into play when you're talking about, 24 hours before stage. You're seeing other girls, you're getting spray tanned. You really got to be super confident, and I feel like that's just going to come with time for Kayla. She doesn't actually realize how good she is yet. Then after D, we had F. F is where Lauren Dannemiller was in first call-outs, moved to the center of the class, stayed there the entire prejudging, and there was one other girl that was flip-flopped in center with her. So I felt she was in first place because I thought that they were looking at someone else for second and they were moving them around, but you never know. So we were confident with top 2, but hopeful for first. And then we ended the night with Cassie Malone, probably the most dominant performance of all the prejudgings. She was in the largest class, I believe, of over 40 girls. And after the first call out, she was all the way on the left side, and they moved her dead center and never moved her again. And there was an uneven number on stage, so there was no one sharing center with her. She was first out of 7 and was kept there all of prejudging when they walked them all off. So we were really confident that she had won her class. So the only question left going on to prejudging was, would Ashley make top 5 and would Lauren win her class? So a lot of good things. The next cool thing that happened was the next prejudging would be Rachel Sedgwick, which was Saturday morning, about 8:30 she was on stage, maybe 9, because she was Class E for figure. Now, I've never brought a girl to figure nationals before. Didn't know what to expect. Rachel has fantastic shape, very pretty, has wonderful lines. She didn't have as much muscle as some of the girls in her class. And I knew that was going to be the case going in. Her first national show. So we dieted her extremely hard. In fact, she lost, I believe, 7 pounds from her stage weight when she won her figure class to qualify for nationals. So think about that, 7 pounds. And what it really allowed us to do was be a bit more aggressive peaking. Her highest carb day in quite some time was the day before the show. And we basically walked her carbohydrates up every single day to ensure that she was completely filled out. I wanted her veiny on stage. I wanted her popping. because there is the ability, the leaner you get, you look like you have a little bit more muscle. So I knew if we got her completely shredded, we could be a little more aggressive. Well, I was really hoping for a first call out, and she was the last person called for the first call out. So she was all the way on the end. They did a couple turns, they moved her over a couple places. A couple more turns, they moved her next to center. They did a couple more turns, they moved her to the dead center position out of 7 girls. They did a couple more turns, and they sent him off stage. So I was going crazy. I couldn't believe it. I think in my mind, I was like, did we really just turn pro at your first ever national show? You know, you never know what's gonna happen, but typically at these national shows, you know, if you're center in the middle after prejudging, it's very good things. And then we had Danny Light do men's physique. Now, Danny won an overall in men's physique and classic physique only a month before this show. And I think he got intimidated because last year he got second call outs at nationals, and Danny's structure is such that he's never going to be the most muscular guy on stage, but he has outstanding structure and conditioning. Well, I think Danny in his mind wanted to play the size game. And when you play the other guy's game and they have more size, it doesn't go well. And I think Danny was in 3rd or 4th call outs. So we'll see what we're going to do going forward with Danny. He's got a ton of muscle, really tiny waist, but I think he might be better suited for classic physique in the future. We'll see. He's just got really good structure for that. Men's physique, I feel like if you don't have dominant pecs, it really hurts your chances at a show this big because those men's physique guys are freaky. So going into finals, lots of good stuff happening. We were very excited. And so, you know, that was Saturday morning, the prejudging for figure and men's physique. We went back to the house, got some rest. I tried to sleep for about an hour, answer some emails, because I was really, really excited for finals. And so when we got to finals, everything went as expected. It went fantastic. The only thing that didn't go great was I thought Ashley Szabo was gonna get 5th. She actually got 6th. So Ashley and Kayla got 6th. But Lauren won her class, she got 1st. Cassie won her class, she got 1st. So they were in the bikini overall pose down with Lauren Dannemiller taking it down. Lauren Dannemiller, as you know, is the bikini overall champion. And going from my journey as a coach in 2014, bringing a girl to nationals, not knowing what I was doing, having her get last call outs, and not because she wasn't in shape or she didn't have the look. I didn't know how to coach her. I didn't know how to tell her how to do her makeup, how to do her posing, make sure her color was right. There was so much that I didn't do that year. To go from that to 3 years later, having the bikini overall champion, granted, Lauren Dannemiller did all the work. She's an amazing athlete, super talented, super dedicated. She did 5 shows this year, 4 national shows, won an overall title at her first show, first call outs at every national show she did. But to go from where I was as a coach and recognize my faults, and it just felt very rewarding. And then to have 2 girls in the bikini overall, 2 out of the 8 girls in the bikini overall were my clients. That was something. It may never happen again. You know, like it's very difficult at that level to get girls to win their class, and to have 2 at the same show, amazing. And then Cyrus got 3rd. So he missed his pro card by 1 spot, but you know, it's nice to win your pro card, but I gotta tell you, I'm sure Lauren Dannemiller and Cassie are happy they won their classes, because I feel like that makes a bigger statement. Not saying it's winning your pro card doesn't mean, you know, however you do it, you might not be successful, but I like making a statement. And with Cyrus, he's 19, first national show. I would rather come back with some size, a little more maturity, go for an overall title at a national show than to get a 2nd place. So, you know, I know he was a little disappointed because he held that center spot for a bit, but overall I know he's got a very bright future. He's not going nowhere. So overall, just an amazing weekend. you know, half my clients were in the first call. 5 of the 8 clients I brought were in the first call outs. So, you know, I'm still going to be chasing that dream of having every client I bring to a show in the first call out. That's my goal from now on. And so what did we do after finals? Well, be careful what you do at nationals, because Lauren Dana Miller winning the overall title meant, you know, she had to stick around for a while, and I sure as hell wasn't leaving. So I stayed in the auditorium as long as possible. Chad got some footage, and we got to wait for her to come out with her trophy, her giant ass trophies, and spend time with her, see her get some interviews. I mean, she was crying when she saw me, made me start crying. You know, it's a very powerful thing to set your goal and dedicate your life to something day after day, week after week, month after month, for years, and for it to finally happen. It finally happened for Lauren. And I remember when she finished her last interview, and I hadn't seen her because she got whisked off the stage. You know, I think I glanced at her for a second. You know, she was doing interviews, pictures, and when she finally got done with that last interview and took a step towards me, she just started bawling. Like, just all the emotions came out in that moment. She just felt, you know, excitement and relief, and you know, you probably have to ask her all the emotions she was feeling, but you know, that was a coaching moment that I'll never forget. You know, that's a relationship that, you know, we've built over the last couple of years, and to see it end with an overall championships at the NPC Nationals, not in my wildest dreams. You know, I knew she had the talent to do it, but there's so many amazing competitors these days. Like, there's so many amazing competitors. So yeah, it was very special. And then that was it. That was Saturday late. We went out and got some burgers. Another cool coaching moment for me was heading up to where everyone was eating, and there was about 35 people there that were, you know, all a part of the Team Pro Physique, Team Loco Fit. You know, me and Lauren Conlon, you know, we have separate businesses, but we're basically the same team. You know, like, her clients are my friends, my clients are her friends. She helps my clients, I help her, whatever. We're all just a unit, you know, we're all a hashtag squad, if you will. And so all her clients and friends were up there, all my clients, friends and family. It was just special to be in a room with like 30 people, because, you know, at the end of the day, that's really what this is all about, man. You know, we got such a common bond, and getting to see all that was just fun. Trying to have a couple drinks, a couple burgers. And then the next morning, my man Chad had to leave. So he's gonna use this footage, this audio, to create a video recap of the weekend. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Sorry about my voice. I kind of lost it over the weekend between the lack of sleep and the just, you know, the raw emotion of it. Probably screaming a lot at the stage. Chad got some amazing footage, so I hope you guys enjoy it. This recap is it's going to be a video that I look at for years. You know, I hope I have a lot more moments like this, but it's not something that you can count on. So I'm very appreciative. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you soon.
By myself.